Welcome to the Linehaul Playbook. I'm your host, Emily Blair. Joining me in my virtual studio today is Adam.arrington with Lonestar Truck Group. Adam, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me, Emily.
I appreciate your time and your expertise. Today, we're going to kick it off with everybody's favorite topic, tariffs. Freightliner has been, as far as I know, the only OEM who has announced their plan to deal with tariffs. Can you talk about that?
You bet. They came out with an updated announcement April 15th, and in essence, they are going to lock in a not to exceed tariff surcharge of $3,500 net per truck before FET, and that is good for any unit that has a chassis start date of November 3rd and prior, which we look at chassis start dates, and then we look at something called RDD, requested delivery date, and that would have a requested delivery date through the end of November of calendar year 2025. So if the tariffs don't exceed $3,500, then that number will obviously be backed up, or if the tariffs go away, then that number goes away completely or gets discounted. It really depends on what continues to happen with our current administration in regards to tariffs.
Absolutely. Completely understand this is a moving target. But if tariffs stay in effect and we do come up against this $3,500 cap where it could potentially exceed that after November, if I'm an independent fleet owner and I want to make sure that I get a Freightliner ordered before my tariff could potentially go up, what date would you say that you need to contact your dealership in order to make that happen?
We need to have all of those orders in by June 2nd to get a guaranteed requested delivery date. Now, can we accept orders after that? Yes. It's first in, first out, right? So the earlier we get the order, we get that build slot locked in, the more we can guarantee that $3,500 not to exceed tariff cap on the trucks. And Emily, I'll side note, this is not only for Cascadia, but it's for medium duty as well. So it's $3,500 regardless of where the truck is being built, regardless of order date, as long as the RDD is that 11/31/2025 or earlier, and we get that order placed by June 2nd, we're good.
Okay, well, June 2nd is right around the corner. So, everybody, get your orders in. Thank you for that. And then, spinning off of that, can you talk a little bit about your expectations for pre buying this year?
All of the industry predicted a mass pre-buy this year and next year. I mean, to the point of record-breaking, truck production in NAFTA Class 6 through 8. We have not seen that, and I think even today, CARB has officially announced they have rescinded and basically dissolved what we knew as ACF, the Advanced Clean Fleet Rule, for the CARB opt-in states, which was Massachusetts, New Jersey, California, Washington, Oregon. Well, CARB has now rescinded that, and they're no longer going to enforce it. The second piece to that we really need to happen is the Advanced Clean Truck Rule. And the reason I'm bringing these two up, it correlates with pre-buy, right? So Advanced Clean Truck Rule regulates the OEM, the manufacturers of the trucks, and they have to track where these trucks are going to go, where they're going to be registered. So you hear a lot of lingo like for initial registration in California. And if it's an ICE engine, you have to earn that credit. Then you pay a massive surcharge to register what CARB is basically saying a dirty engine in their state. And it can be as much as $15,000 a truck for that engine. Now, we're hearing that ACT may be repealed, and if that is the case, that's going to be a game changer. And that is certainly going to drive a ton of truck replacements. We do think there is going to be a pre-buy even without that. And one of the things that's driving it is new safety technology. We have a new Generation 5 Cascadia that begins production in July of 2025. It's going to run in unison with the current Cascadia. Some people call it the Gen 4, but the new Gen 5, you can check it out online, FreightlinerTrucks.com or any of our social media channels. We actually had one in your booth at the Linehaul Summit in Irving 2 weeks ago. But in essence, it's got some new record-breaking first-to-market safety technologies like active driver, blind spot assist. It's got a ton of other safety features that I know you don't want to cover on this, but we are seeing fleets replace equipment early because of the safety and the mirror eye technology and some of these things that are certainly going to reduce accidents and incidents for our fleets.
Yeah, I did actually take a couple videos of the truck that you had down there for us as a demo in Dallas at the Linehaul Summit, and they are on my channel. So if anybody wants to see it, just flip back a few videos and check out the truck. It's beautiful.
It is truly, Emily, it's the most sophisticated, safest truck Daimler has ever produced, and it is being driven solely from customer demand. In a lot of the video footage that comes out of these camera technologies where fleets can now say, hey, I wish your safety system could do this. This would have mitigated or lessened the severity of this accident. And that's exactly what the truck is designed to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing piece of technology. And then with that Gen 5, when do you anticipate production to start on those? Because they're not in active production yet, correct?
They are not in active production for customer orders. We have started quoting some. They're running some pre-series trucks now just to get the plants up to speed and then check the quality of those early units. But that production of the Gen 5 will start in July of this year. And that's going to be the platform for the future. And then in January of 2027 calendar year, that will be the line haul truck for Freightliner. The Gen 4, the current Cascadia, will go away. But we're going to offer both so a customer will have a choice to make. We're going to have the Detroit Assurance 5.0, which is the current safety system on the current Cascadia, and then Detroit Assurance 6.0 with all of those new enhancements will be standard on the Gen 5 Cascadia that's starting in July.
Okay, and as a mechanically inept person, forgive me for this question, but is it a large amount of overlap in parts between the Gen 4 and Gen 5, or is it possible that Gen 5 will take a little bit of time to catch up with some parts that folks will need?
That's a really good question. Dash-wise and interior, pretty much the same. All new hood, all new headlights, new grille, new trim. Exterior-wise, there's definitely more pieces. From a powertrain perspective, it's pretty much going to be the same. We are offering some new drive lines, some new ratios, but we have a new proprietary Detroit tire pressure monitoring system. So there are pieces on the truck that aren't even offered today, but Daimler will have those parts and pieces readily stocked in our PDCs before they start releasing that truck to market.
Awesome. And I may have missed this at the summit. Is that tire pressure monitoring system going to be standard on the new Gen 5, or is that still just a factory installed option?
It will be standard.
Okay.
It will be standard. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see these start hitting production. I do think there's a lot of great safety features on there that are going to be amazing for fleets to have. Is there anything else that you wanted to add today, Adam?
Yeah, if I'm your independent TSP and I'm trying to make a decision, do I replace my truck now or do I wait and see what happens? I realize $3,500 is not a cost that most folks had accounted for in their budget or maybe in their replacement cycle, but it's not a profit, and Daimler, along with the dealer body, has made a commitment. They're not using tariffs as a way to make incremental margin or profit. It is a true pass-through. We don't think that the Chinese tariffs are going to go away. The raw materials, the metals, the copper, the brass, the steel, the aluminum, all of those things, regardless of where truck OEMs build trucks, whether it's in the U.S., Mexico, Canada, everyone sources metals and raw materials pretty much from the same parts of the world. So the raw materials in that Chinese tariff that is 10% on everything that comes from China, those two are not going to go away. And that's what that $3,500 is. So, secondly, we do think that when the market becomes a little more accepting and consumer confidence gets a little better and people start ordering trucks, it's going to be just like COVID again, and it's going to be a run, and it's going to be how many can you get me and how fast can you get them. So if you are even remotely thinking about a truck, now would be the time to secure it, so you're not, you don't find yourself in a position where you're ready to buy and no one has a slot for you.
That's great advice. Well, thank you so much for your time, Adam. Always appreciate your insights.
Thank you, Emily. Take care.